This is the easiest bread that you can make at home. It doesn't require any kneading and it's so easy and fast to do. In addition, you can prepare it a night or 2 nights before. Keep it in the fridge and then whenever you have time, you can just bake it. This bread is a Persian bread called Barbari, and the ingredients are 4 cups of flours and 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of yeast, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 2 tablespoons of cooking oil, and about 2 cups of warm water. Here we add the yeast and the sugar over the flour. We add the salt. We mix all dry ingredients together. Then here we add the oil. I usually put the oil over the water so it will mix well. And then I will add the oil and the water gradually over the flour. And I will just mix with a fork. So this dough does not need any kneading at all. And here I added the second cup till all the flour became doughy, intact together. And here I brought a bowl of water, just regular water from the sink, so I can wet my hand to be able to handle this sticky dough, okay? Then I'm gonna stretch and fold the dough from each side, like from the 4 sides, as you can see in the video here. So I'm not gonna cut the video, I'm gonna show you how you do it. From each side, you stretch and fold. Then I covered the dough with saran wrap and let it rest for 15 minutes. Then here, after 15 minutes, I open the wrap and I repeat the process of stretch and fold from the 4 sides of the dough. And then first side like this. And second side like this. And this is the third side. And this is the fourth side, okay? So now I'm just gonna cover it for another 15 minutes. So here is after another 15 minutes. So this is third time I'm doing stretch and fold here. So this side, 1. And then this is the second side. Also, at this stage, you can notice how the dough became smooth and easy also to handle. This is the fourth one. So I'm just now gonna do it as a ball. And I will cover it and put it in the fridge till tomorrow morning. You can keep it in the fridge for up to 32 hours, but actually in the past I did it for 2 nights, so it was like more than 32 hours, like 48 hours. It was fine too. Okay, so now the next morning I got the dough. Look how it's bubbly. It has some bubbles there. So I got the dough. And you need a bowl of water, just regular water from the sink. This is white sesame seeds and this is black sesame seeds. That's for garnish, okay? That's optional, but it gives them the traditional look. Okay, so first thing now, and there is also an important step. You need to bring like the pan to put parchment paper. It's important to put parchment paper. Never put wax paper. I did that in the past, it's stuck, you couldn't take it off. I never tried it without parchment paper, so I recommend to have parchment paper, okay? So now here we're gonna open it up. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna here put some water. And then I'm gonna dump this on the water. Always put water on your hands to handle this dough so it doesn't stick. So here I'm gonna cut it to 4 pieces. Okay, and then I'm gonna get the pan and I put water on the parchment paper. And I'm gonna get 1 piece, put it here, okay? And I do that on 4. So instead of using 4 pans, I'm using 2, and I'm gonna have just parchment paper on the other 2, then I will transfer them. Okay, so here this one will give us 4 loaves of bread. So when I brought the dough out, I started the oven at 450 degree Fahrenheit. So now here we go. I make sure I got water on my hands, and then I start spreading it. Now, the Barbari bread is a little bit thick. You want to make sure you spread it a little bit thin because it's going to shrink later on. Then you mark some straight lines on the dough just to look like Barbari bread. So just let me show you the thickness. And now you sprinkle with black sesame seeds, and then here the white sesame seeds, and let it rest for half an hour. So after half an hour, I did mark down the lines again. And if you notice, this one, I put the seeds before proofing, but the other ones, loaves, I put it after proofing, but it did not really matter. The results were the same, so you can do it either way. And I'm gonna put it in the oven, okay? So see how it looks like. It's a small loaf. Here is the bread in the oven. It's becoming puffy. So now there is an important step. So you need to get a cooling rack. If you don't have one, you can just get one of those racks from your oven and use them. And then a towel, a kitchen towel. So when the bread comes out, I'm gonna put it in the cooling rack and I'm gonna cover it. Why? Because I'm gonna bake it a little bit extra. It's gonna be, because I want it from the middle to be ready, not to be doughy from the inside. So when I get it out, if I don't do this step, cover the bread, then it's gonna be very hard. So I want it to be not crispy, but I want it to be well done. So that's why I'm gonna do this step, okay? Okay, so here, after like 13 minutes. So usually it takes between 14 to 18 minutes. It depends on your oven and the size of the loaf you make. Okay, so here I took it from the oven and you see it's loose. Just want to look at the bottom. Ooh, good. So here we go. I'm gonna put it here on the rack and then I'm gonna cover it. Now I'm gonna bake the second one. So also the purpose of the rack here, that the bottom of the bread doesn't get, from the steam, doesn't get like wet, okay? So it will be cooled properly. Now this loaf, I spread it really thinner than the others, and I don't recommend that. I'm gonna show you why later. And here all the 4 loaves after I took them from the oven. And here is the bread after I cut it. It's puffy and not doughy. This is the one that I spread it thin. I really don't recommend doing that because it did not really look puffy like the other loaves. Okay, so here it is after I cut it. Yummy, yummy. And everybody who tastes this bread loved it. And even my Persian friends, they thought that I bought it from the market. So they really, really were surprised to know how easy I made it and how delicious it came out.